Call to order City of Forest Park City Council meeting number 1329, February 4, 2019. Let us stand for the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The clerk call the roll, please.
Burns.
Here.
Collins.
Here.
Herbie.
Here.
Holt.
Here.
Johnson.
Here.
Moore.
Here.
Nuss.
Here.
The records show that all council members are present. Item number 2 is minutes. You've all received a copy of the minutes. Are there any corrections or additions to the minutes? Hearing none, the minutes will stand approved as presented. Item number 3 is presentations. We have no presentations for this evening. So we would move to item number 4, communications from the public. This is a time for citizens to comment on matters before council or to ask questions or concern to them. When recognized, please come forward to the podium, give your name and address, and then state your comments or questions. Council meetings are tape recorded for ease of transcriptions. Comments are limited to 5 minutes. Is there anyone from the public who would like to address council? Come over and sign in, tell us who you are, and then okay, tell us your name and your address, please.
Busy, bye. My name is Deborah Kemper. My address is 11034 Denora Lane. My reason for coming today is because I, along with quite a few other people in the city, received notices that we do not file our income tax. When we got ours, we went to the lady that prepared ours. She said she had been getting 2 and 3 calls a day from people in Forest Park. So she called Forest Park to see what was going on and was told that 8,000 people did not file. That's an awful lot of people. And I know we filed. And my daughter got one also, and she sent a check in, and they cashed the check. But they said she didn't file. So we came over here. My husband came over here. He thought he got it all straightened out. Nope. Still owed more money. So he paid that. And I said, you know what? I'm going to go to council and I'm going to say my piece, because it's not right for, I don't know what they did with it, but they sent us a bill, a quarterly bill, and we paid it. And the gal back there said, told my daughter, well, you did not, we just had this check. We did not have a filing for you. So that's why we didn't send you a quarterly bill. Well, then if they sent us a quarterly bill, then we must have filed, right? I mean, that only makes sense. You can't have it both ways. You can't have it, you filed, and we're going to still say you didn't file. That doesn't work. And I am really surprised that there aren't more people complaining about this. But I think what happens is people don't want to fight the government. And I'm not here to fight. I'm just here to do something that's right. And I mean, we paid what we owed, and then we had to come back and pay more. And then to find out that you can't pay it on a quarterly basis anymore. Why? And how are people going to know? We didn't know that. The only way we found out was the gal at the tax office told my husband. How's everybody else supposed to know this? They may put their taxes in on April 15th with their quarterly payment, and then they're going to be in trouble. And that's not fair. I mean, somehow you have got to get it out to the people that live here that, okay, you owe the whole amount on April 15th. We don't have the staff. I mean, they even told us, they told me, the woman told me that the reason it wasn't sent out in December so people wouldn't get fined was because they didn't have enough people to work. I asked, when you got just a check, if you didn't get my daughter's filing paper, but you got her check, why didn't you try to contact her and say, what is this for? Could this have been for a bill? I mean, it could have been for anything. and they didn't come. They just cashed it. That was fine. They cashed all the other the checks that we sent. When they would send the quarterly notice out, and we would send the check in, they cashed those. But yet they said we didn't file, and they can't have it both ways. That's not right. I mean, you can't say you didn't file, and then still send us bills, and then my daughter didn't file because they couldn't find a paper, and so she paid it all, and we've paid it. That's not the point. The point being is it's not fair to treat, and if it's 8,000 people, that's a whole lot of people. And that's why I'm surprised there's not more people here complaining about that. And not to get it out until January that we were, I mean, okay, my mother also, she lived with me for quite a while, and right now she's in a nursing home. She got it because I was supposed to fill it out for her. I couldn't. I had had open heart surgery, and when the stuff came, I just completely forgot about it. And so I brought it over here. I got hers taken care of too. But my feeling is you can't treat the people here like this. I have lived in Forest Park since 1959, probably a lot longer than any of you have been here. And I don't ever remember my parents or me or I being treated like this. I remember when I was able to come here and have them do my taxes for me. That was great because your tax thing is crazy. I mean, even the H&R Block hates it. That's the truth. I mean, and so, and then, but see, the thing I didn't like about H&R Block was they said, just don't pay it. And I said, no, that's not right. I'm going to go and I'm going to talk to the people on council, and my husband came, it was due today, but he had to work, so he said, I'll pay it sooner. So he paid it. He just paid the fine, but he wrote on the check that it was paid in full, but not really due, because it wasn't. Because we did file, and they knew that we filed because they sent us a bill every quarter, and then we sent them a check. And then they said that my daughter didn't file, and they couldn't find her paper, and that's why she did not get a bill. And I think, guys, you can't have it both ways. You can't have it that we filed and send us a bill, and then my daughter didn't file, and so she didn't get a bill. That's not right. I mean, it's not fair to anybody. And to have 8,000 of your citizens not file, wouldn't that raise a big red flag to somebody in this building? And I mean, all she talks about is there's no help. She was the only person there. And I used to come here, and there would be plenty of people working in the tax office at tax time, and they were doing people's taxes for them. And that was wonderful because it is crazy. This tax form is nuts. And I mean, because, on state and federal, you use one amount. But on Forest Park, you have to use the big amount. I mean, like on federal and state, ours was like 26,000, but on Forest Park, it was 24,000, and on Forest Park, it was 28,000. It was like $4,000 more. I said, and then I looked at it, I thought, oh, that's right, because they've always done that. They've always used the higher amount, which I don't understand. I know federal and state don't, but you do. And you get no help here at all, really. There's nobody that can really help you here. And then you send out these notices that nobody filed, and they send them out in January because there's nobody in December to send them out, so that people can say, oh, wait a minute, we did file. We can bring proof. But in January, it's too late. It's not fair. It's not right to do the citizens of Forest Park that way. I mean, you may not like what I have to say, but I imagine there's a whole lot of citizens out there that wish they could. Some people just don't like to talk in front of other people, and I understand that. But I'm not one of them. And I just believe that if I've been done wrong, I'm going to say something. And that's why I'm here. I'm not going to put up with. And my husband, the first thing out of my husband's mouth after he paid that was, "I would love to move out of Forest Park." Is this what you want? Is this what you want? Do you want people moving out of Forest Park? And I mean, there are a friend of my daughter's lives in the Forest Park apartments. She worked with him, and it's like, hey, why don't I just move someplace else because of all this? I mean, this is getting crazy. And if 8,000 people moved out of Forest Park, that's a lot of income moving out of Forest Park. And I know we won't get our money back. I know that. But then now we are expected on April 15th to pay you guys over $500 at once, all at once. That's just, I mean, and I'm sure there are other people in the same boat that like to pay it quarterly, but now they can't. And I mean, it wasn't like something we had a vote on. Did you guys vote on that? Or did you not know about that? Are you just as shocked as everybody else is that got one of those notices? I don't know. But
Could you give me your name and address again, please?
yes, it's Deborah Kemper.
Kemper?
Yeah, Kemper Rose, named after my husband's great-grandfather.
Okay.
I'll start charging everybody that runs
11034.
11034
11034.
Donora, D-O-N-O-R-A,
Yeah.
Lane.
Okay. Obviously I can't answer your question, but what we will do, the city manager will give your information to the tax department, and we will check into this and find out, and someone will get back to you. But I can tell you this much though, they still do people's taxes every day. There are any day you
what,
come up
stay
with,
open until 4 o'clock?
well, you know, I don't know. I can't
People
tell you
work.
what time to come, but I'm just saying. You said they don't do it anymore. Yes, they do. They do
Not
it
like
every day.
Not like they used to.
All I'm telling you is they do it every day because the room's full most every day. But I know that they do assist people with their taxes still.
Well, and my husband came over here one day, and there was a woman sitting next to him, and she was irate because she had also gotten one of those letters saying that she didn't file, and she said, "I did file." That's what she told my husband. My husband said, I told them too. We filed.
Well, as I said, we will. The city manager will pass this information on, and someone will get back to you to hopefully answer your questions and get the matter resolved. Mr. Hodges, did you have a comment or questions?
No, it isn't.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who would
like I
like to
said, I
address
couldn't
the public? Anyone else in the public would like to address council? Seeing no one, we go to item number 5, reports of standing committees. The first of those, Human Resources Committee, Councilwoman Holt.
I do not have a report tonight, thank you.
Next one, Public Improvement and Facilities, Councilwoman Moore. Excuse me, Councilwoman Moore, before you do, Councilwoman Holt, I have no items on the agenda for the work session of the 11th. Do you have any to add?
No.
Okay, any questions for Councilwoman Holt? Next item is item B, Standing Committee, Public Improvement and Facilities, Councilwoman Moore.
I do not have a report at this time, Mr. Mayor.
Any questions for Councilwoman Moore? Hearing none, Councilwoman Moore, I have no items on the agenda for you. Do you have any to add?
I do not.
Next committee is Public Safety, Councilwoman Nuss.
I don't have any report. I would like to make a brief comment, though, and a thank you to the Forest Park Fire Department for allowing the community group, Wynwood's Achievement Boosters, to utilize their training facility for a free SAT program. They've been extraordinarily helpful to that group, and it's just very much appreciated.
Questions for Councilwoman Nuss? Councilwoman Nuss, I have no items on the agenda for you for the work session on the 11th. Do you have anything to add?
I do not.
Next committee is Ways and Means. Councilwoman Herbie.
I have nothing to report either today.
Any questions for Councilwoman Herbie? Hearing none, I have no items on the agenda for you for the 11th. Do you have any to add?
No, sir.
Next report, Community Development, Mr. Barnes.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have no report. If you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer.
Any questions for Mr. Barnes? Mr. Barnes, I have one item on the agenda, special assessments. Do you have any to add?
No, I do not. Thank you.
Next committee report is Law Committee, Councilwoman Collins.
Mr. Mayor, I do not have a report from the Law Committee at this time. However, I am available for questions.
Any questions for Councilwoman Collins? Councilwoman Collins, I have one item on the agenda for you for the work session. It's a liquor license request. Do you have any to add?
No, I do not.
Last committee report is Intergovernmental Relations and Communications. I have no report. I'll answer any questions if there are any. There are no items on the agenda for the work session for the 11th for intergovernmental. We would then move to item number 6, the mayor's report. My report tonight would be simply a reminder that this is February, and this is then the recognition and celebration of African American History Month. This celebration started in 1926 by Carter G. Woodson. It started off as Negro History Week. It was Mr. Woodson selected the second week of February as the celebration for Negro History Week because of the birthdays of Abraham Lincoln and Frederick Douglass. And it remained Negro History Week for years. In 1969, students at Kent State University petitioned for the Negro History Week to become Negro History Month. In 1970, those same students and other students around the country celebrated what was then to be the first Negro History Month. And some 7 years later, in 1976, then President Gerald Ford, as part of the bicentennial celebration, proposed and named February as African American History Month. And since that time, we have officially celebrated African American History Month during the month of February. Around the area during this month, there will be numerous programs and activities commemorating this month. The whole purpose of it was to recognize the contributions of African Americans to the success and progress made in this country. So I would urge all of you and everybody, all of our citizens, to take advantage of attending some of these programs and participating in some of these activities. I know that a number of the organizations in Forest Park, a number of the churches in Forest Park will be having activities and programs commemorating African American History Month. That will conclude my report. I will answer any questions if there are any. Hearing none, we will move then to item number 7, City Manager's Report. Mr. Hodges.
Thank you. I'll only report that the departmental reports have all been completed, included in the council packet, and also placed on file with the Clerk of Council for public inspection. That would conclude my report, but I would respond to any questions if there are any.
Questions for the City Manager? Hearing none, thank you, sir. We will now move to item number 8, other reports. First of those being Mr. Wyckoff, The Law Director.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I do not have anything specific to report on tonight, but would be happy to answer any questions there might be.
Any questions for the Law Director? Hearing none, thank you, sir. Next report is Clerk of Council, Ms. Dirksen.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to report that ordinance number 01-2019 through 04-2019 and resolution numbers 01-2019 and 02-2019 were posted as required. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Ms. Dirksen. Next item is item number 9, new business. Is there a motion, Mr. Barnes?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move to suspend the rules requiring the reading in full on 2 separate days and read for the first time by title only ordinance number 05-2019. This ordinance was posted 6 days prior.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we suspend the rules requiring the reading in full on 2 separate days and read for the first time by title only ordinance number 05-2019. Is there a discussion? Hearing none, would the clerk please call the roll on the motion to suspend?
Burns,
Yes.
Collins,
Yes.
Herbie,
Yes.
Holt,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Nuss.
Yes.
Motion to suspend passes 7-0. First item on item A, ordinance number 05-2019. Would the clerk please read that ordinance by title only?
Ordinance number 05-2019, amending annual 2019 appropriation ordinance 28-2018.
Is there a motion, Councilwoman Herbie?
Yes, I would move to adopt ordinance number 05-2019.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we adopt ordinance 05-2019. Is there a discussion, Councilwoman Herbie?
Yes, this is basically a motion or an ordinance to allow us to adopt from the balances of several of our funds monies for specific purposes that weren't anticipated initially. And I don't think I'm going to read through all of this. You're welcome. But these are generally minor amounts for things that are in the budget, but generally are being moved from one line item to another. And I would urge adoption of this reappropriations ordinance.
Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, would the clerk please call the roll on ordinance 05-2019?
Collins,
Yes.
Herbie,
Yes.
Holt,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Nuss,
Yes.
Burns.
Yes.
Ordinance 05-2019 passes 7-0. Next item, is there a motion? Mr. Barnes.
I move to suspend the rules requiring the reading in full and read by title only resolution number 03-2019 and 04-2019. These resolutions were posted 6 days prior to this meeting.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we suspend the rules requiring the reading in full and read by title only resolutions number 03 and 04-2019. Is there a discussion? Hearing none, would the clerk please call the roll on the motion to suspend?
Herbie,
Yes.
Holt,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Nuss,
Yes.
Burns,
Yes.
Collins.
Yes.
The motion to suspend passes 7-0. Next item is item B, resolution 03-2019. Would the clerk please read this resolution by title only?
Resolution number 03-2019, a resolution consenting to the execution of a redevelopment incentive agreement between Faxon Machining and the City of Forest Park, Ohio.
Is there a motion, Councilwoman Herbie?
Yes, I would move adoption of resolution number 03-2019.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we adopt resolution 03-2019. Is there a discussion, Councilwoman Herbie?
Yes, this is a request to approve a redevelopment incentive package to help retain and expand one of our important businesses in Forest Park in the Northland Corridor. The request is to do an incentive agreement of $150,000 payable in 2 equal installments this year and next year. And it will help this company also secure some state money as well. And this will involve, I think, we said a $1.69 million development and the creation of 85 new jobs, as well as retaining 90 jobs. So I urge adoption of this resolution.
Any further discussion on the resolution?
I just have a quick
Yes.
question, Ms. Herbie. So the $75,000 payable, or I'm sorry, the $150,000 that we would pay in the 2 installments, does their payroll make up for that?
Yes, it does. It's the addition of these extra jobs, which will bring in enough to cover this within those 2 years, which is usually the way we structure these.
Any further discussion or questions? Hearing none, would the clerk please call the roll on 03-2019?
Holt,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Nuss,
Yes.
Burns,
Yes.
Collins,
Yes.
Herbie.
Yes.
Resolution 03-2019 passes 7-0. Next item on the agenda is item C, resolution number 04-2019. Would the clerk please read this resolution by title only?
Resolution number 04-2019, a resolution requesting that the Hamilton County Auditor remove certain special assessments placed by the City of Forest Park, Ohio.
Is there discussion, a motion, Mr. Barnes?
So move for the adoption of resolution number 04-2019.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we adopt resolution 04-2019. Is there discussion, Mr. Barnes?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This resolution is to assist or remove $262.50 from 2 property assessments. These properties are located within the H section, and they were acquired as part of our redevelopment efforts. Since that time, since acquiring them, the city has been cutting the grass and have laid assessments of the $262.50 in the care for those properties. As part of the development, the developer has requested that we consider removing those assessments so that they can proceed with the development of those properties. The homes that would be placed on those properties would be roughly $150,000 each of brand new housing, which is an indicator that the redevelopment plan is working, and we're executing against the plan. So I would urge adoption of resolution 04-2019.
Any further discussion?
Do we have to remove the entire amount, or is it able to be done in a percentage of it?
We can do what we would like. I think the spirit of it is that it's not a whole lot of money in the whole scope of things. It's $262 per property. It's 2 properties, so $525. And once the development is over, it would well pay itself off. But I think the way the resolution is structured is to remove the entire part.
Any further discussion? Any further questions?
Not a question. I just wanted to, the information we were provided indicates that this owner has done this in a couple other areas of the city and has very successfully improved those lots with homes in the 150,000 plus range. So this is proven experience that this is a good developer. So I would urge adoption as well.
Any further discussion? Hearing now, would the clerk please call the roll on 04-2019?
Johnson,
Yes.
Moore,
Oh, yes.
Nuss,
Yes.
Burns,
Yes.
Collins,
Yes.
Herbie,
Yes.
Holt.
Yes.
Resolution 04-2019 passes 7-0. Next item on the agenda, item D, there's a motion. Councilwoman Holt.
I'd like to make a motion to accept the resignation of Mr. David Lives from the Economic Development Commission for the term expiring 11/30/2020.
Second.
Been moved and seconded that we accept the resignation of Mr. David Lyles from the EDC for a term expiring 11/30/20. Is there any discussion?
None.
All those in favor of the motion, let it be known by the sign of voting aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Next item on the agenda is item E, and motion, Councilwoman Holt.
I would like to make a motion to convene to an executive session to discuss personnel matters regarding the review and consideration of a city manager candidates.
Second.
Been moved and seconded that we convene an executive session to discuss personnel matters regarding the review and consideration of city manager candidates. Any discussion?
We're gonna make this about 30-minute meeting.
Or less. Any further discussions? Hearing now, would the clerk please call the roll on the motion?
Moore,
Yes.
Nuss, Burns,
Yes.
Collins,
Yes.
Herbie,
Yes.
Holt,
Yes.
Johnson.
Motion passes 7-0. We will now adjourn into executive session. There will be no official business taken during this session. At the end of the session, we will return here where we will have a motion to
Right back there.
adjourn the executive session, reconvene into the regular meeting, and then adjourn the regular meeting. We're going to meet in the room right behind us in 1B. At this point, we will now adjourn into executive session.